on opening day. However, when it was all said and done, Jose Bautista and the Blue Jays had the last laugh. It's Game 2, and it's next on Sports Time Ohio. Opening day in Cleveland was a record setter, but unfortunately, after 16 innings, it was the Blue Jays who did all the celebrating. Today, the Tribe sends out one of their key guys in 2012, Ubaldo Jimenez, looking to erase a rough 2011 and get the Indians in the win column. It's day baseball, and we have all the action next on Sports Time Ohio. Cleveland as the Indians get back to work today. It's Game 2 in their 3-game opening series against the Toronto Blue Jays. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. And for 8 innings, opening day was perfectly scripted for the Tribe and their fans. They had the lead. They were going into the ninth, turning it over to their closer. And that's when the roof caved in.
Well, a lot of people upset because the closer only had a number of appearances in spring training. He leaves a fastball down the middle of the plate, and this is going to tie the ball game up. Luckily, that ball didn't go out, but you see the throw coming in. They will score 2 runs, tie this ball game up at 4-4, and they let Toronto right back into the ball game. Then it's a hanging breaking ball. That does the damage. Aaron Sebia with 23 home runs last year gets off his first one this year. That made it a 7-4 difference, and the Indians trailed.
The Indians had opportunities. They had the winning run at third base in the ninth with 1 out, couldn't get them home. Had the bases loaded with 1 out in the 12th and could not do it again.
Well, the disappointing thing from that second inning when they did score their 4 runs, they couldn't put anything together, nothing consistent. When they did have a couple of chances, they couldn't come through.
Well, the guy on the hill for the Tribe today holds maybe a big key to the Indians' success this year. Ubaldo Jimenez will take the ball against Brandon Morrow of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Well, hopefully he can follow up the start that Justin Masterson had, and he's going to have to command his fastball. If he can do that, everything will stem off of that. He likes to throw his splitter, his breaking ball, his changeup, but number one is commanding the fastball. He was 2-2 in this ballpark last year. Hopefully he can get off to a good start this year. He's matched up against a power pitcher, Brandon Morrow, averages over 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. He was a 500 pitcher last year. He was either great or he was off. Hopefully he'll have one of those off days, but I guarantee the left-handers in the lineup will get a fastball to hit with Morrow in there.
Yeah, Morrow with over 200 strikeouts last season, and you look right there, Jimenez, great numbers at home a season ago, and in 5 career starts, just a 2.83 ERA. Our Nissan Road Ahead pitching matchup brought to you by Nissan. Get to Nissan for great deals and innovation you can count on. We're back with today's first pitch. Indians and Blue Jays right here on Sports Time Ohio. Welcome to the opening week of baseball. It's presented by Burger King. Another bright, sunny day here in downtown Cleveland as the Indians and Blue Jays continue their 3-game series. A little warmer than opening day.
Well, the wind isn't as bad.
No.
It was cutting in from right center field, and that really made the difference in opening day. So I think the ball's going to carry a little bit better today, and it's not just quite as windy.
Ubaldo Jimenez ready to take the hill for the Tribe in Game 2 here this afternoon. As the Indians try to even things up against the Blue Jays. Toronto winning in 16 innings on Thursday afternoon. The Indians had a 4-1 lead into the ninth, but let it slip away. And now they'll try to even the slate as Jimenez and the Tribe take the field. John Farrell's Toronto Blue Jays starting lineup is brought to you by Kia. And for the Jays today, it will be Yunel Escobar, followed by Kelly Johnson and Jose Bautista. Adam Lynn, Edwin Encarnacion, and Brett Lawrie, followed by Eric Thames, J.P. Arancibia, and Colby Rasmus.
Take a look at the Indian starting pitcher, brought to you by Burger King, proud sponsor of opening week baseball. Ubaldo Jimenez coming on, going to make his first start this year. Of course, he appealed that suspension that he had coming out of spring training. And speaking of spring training for him, it was not a very good one. Just 1-4 and an ERA of 7. The consistency wasn't there, and that's something we're going to have to look at Jimenez this year and see if he can consistently go out there, command his fastball, and throw strikes. I mean, get ahead in the count. A lot of times you will see him in the mid part of the ball game, 5th and 6th inning, around his pitch count of 100 pitches, and that he's going to have to see if he can minimize that to stay in the ball game a little bit longer this year. Let's take a look at the Indians' defense, brought to you by Pat O'Brien Chevrolet, saluting the men and women defending our country and watching on the Armed Forces Network. In the outfield, same as Thursday, Duncan, Brantley, and Chu. In the infield, Hanahan, Cabrera, Kipnis, and Kochman, with Santana behind the plate.
Mark Carlson calling the balls and strikes. Mike Everett at first, Paul Schreiber at second, and the crew chief Tim Welke will be at third. Yunel Escobar will step in and get us underway here this afternoon. Mentioned that wind on Thursday. It was blowing in at 16 miles an hour. Down to just 8 miles an hour here this afternoon. Jimenez into the line. And we're underway as the first pitch is low and away for ball one. 48 degrees, our game time temperature here today. And a strike to even the count on Escobar. Outside, 2-1. Fouled back out of play to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, for Jimenez, one of the things that was a problem for him a year ago is the number of pitches that he made in the early innings that did not allow him to go deep into games.
Well,
one hopper to short, and as Dribble Cabrera takes care of that one away. Today's injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. And for Toronto, Jesse Litch and Dustin McGowan, a couple of pitchers on the DL. But other than that, feel pretty good about where they're at health-wise.
You know, the one thing I've noticed about him, very few times will you see guys put one pitch in play with Jimenez on the mound where he can have like an
quick inning
8 or a 9 pitch inning. A lot of times he'll go out there and, you know, he'll miss the plate and they foul off pitches. And, you know, you're looking at him maybe 5-6 pitches per batter. You know, but that's you love to see that. One pitch, one out.
And there are now 2 down in the first for Jose Bautista, who went 3 for 4 in the opener with a home run.
Well, and we were talking about it earlier. This guy, the home run he hit, he's going to hit his home runs. He's got some of the best power, without a doubt, in baseball. It's the other 2 hits he got. He was down in the count 0-2. You remember he slapped one to right field to keep a rally going and ended up pushing another breaking ball into center field. He's a guy that can lead the league in home runs, but also will give himself, when he gets to 2 strikes, he will give it up and hit for a high average as well.
Stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio GMC dealers. And it's not like, as you said, getting him down in the count really gives you much of an advantage, or at least it didn't seem that way on opening day.
No, because he won't try to hit the ball out of the ballpark now.
Jimenez with a 1-2. Bounced it in there to even the count. Bautista came to the plate 7 times on Thursday. He had the 3 hits. He also walked twice. One of those was intentional. And a sac fly also drove in a run. Missed outside, full count. Payoff pitch. Bounce to third. Hanahan. Routine play for Jack. Throws him out. And the Blue Jays go 1-2-3. A good start for Ubaldo Jimenez. The Indians coming to bat when we come back. Bottom of the first here at Progressive Field, and the Indians starting lineup presented by Progressive Insurance. Proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. It's Michael Brantley as Drupal Cabrera and Shin-Soo Choo. Then Carlos Santana, Travis Hafner, and Shelley Duncan. Casey Kochman, Jason Kipnis, and Jack Hanahan.
All right, let's look at the Jays starting pitcher, brought to you by Burger King, proud sponsor of opening day baseball. Brandon Morrow, last year a 500 pitcher with 30 starts, but this guy is a power pitcher. You can see 203 strikeouts in his 179 in the third innings. And, I mean, he averages over 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. He definitely, if he is on, he's going to be a tough one to follow, but he can be hit or miss. He's either really good or he was really bad last year.
He misses low, ball one. Brantley, as you see there, 1 for 6 with the double on opening day. Looks at a ball outside. It's 2-0. Well, all spring long, the focus for Brandon Morrow and John Farrell and company was just throwing strikes, throwing more strikes. And it sounds like that doesn't make sense when you look at his numbers from a year ago, because he's not a guy who walked a lot of hitters. And he was one of only 7 pitchers to strike out more than 200 batters on the year. But for John and company, it was a matter of getting ahead, throwing more quality strikes.
Well, if he keeps it around the plate, he's going to get you put it in play and you keep him in the ball game a little bit longer. You know, when you're ahead in the count, you can expand a hitter strike zone when you're a strikeout pitcher. But when you throw a lot of pitches and get strikeouts, you're going to be out early. But this guy, last year, he did much better on the road, where he was 6-3 and a 3.07 compared to the year before. It's been night and day for this guy.
Man, he chased one there, did Brantley.
Right there, you can see the explosiveness of his fastball. When he gets the 2 strikes, he can elevate it and blow it right past you.
Today's league leaders brought to you by your Cleveland Akron area Lexus dealers. And nobody struck out more per 9 innings a year ago in the American League than Brandon Morrow. Better than 10 per 9 innings. As Drupal Cabrera, 1 for 7 in the opener. Takes a fastball in there for a strike. Missed inside. And that's off the plate, 2-1.
Morrow, a guy that averaged about 17.5 pitches per inning last year. And when you look at it and you talk about a number of pitches thrown, he had 79 full counts throughout the course of the year, so that's going to bring the pitch count up.
(3-1). Grounded foul just past Tom Wiedenbauer down at first base.
Well, that's what you can pretty much do when you get into a hitter's count off Brandon Morrow. If you are an Indians hitter, look for your fastball, as Cabrera does. He cheats on it, hits the ball hard. He just pulled it foul, which is okay. He's not going to let him throw it by him. You know what you're going to get.
And the 3-2 is low, ball 4. Cabrera draws the walk, and the Indians have a one-out base runner for Shin-Soo Choo.
Take a look at the Home Depot Toronto Blue Jay defense. In the outfield, Thames in left, Rasmus in center, Bautista in right, Laurie at third, Escobar at short, Johnson is the second baseman, Lind at first, Arancibia behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of Home Depot.
Breaking ball in the dirt gets away, and as Drupal Cabrera got caught. And he is in a rundown. And he'll be tagged out, 2 down.
Well, he guessed wrong. And I'll tell you what, as a base runner, this is what your thought process is. You're looking for a ball in the dirt to get to second base. He did that, so he just left. But you know what? Aaron Sebia did a great job of smothering the ball, keeping it right down in front of him, and that's where you guess wrong. So he's going to be ended up picking off first base because of the nice play by Aaron Sebia. When you guess right, it looks great. But right that time, he guessed wrong.
And now the count 2-0 to Chu. Well, we saw Thursday where a ball bounced away from Aaron Sebia, and Chu tried to score from third and was tagged out at the plate. Takes a strike. It's 2-1. And now Morrow with the 2-1. And that'll even the count.
That's the one thing. Another thing, you see, that was a changeup. 2-1 count, 85 miles per hour. Last year, he was throwing his changeup around 89 because he throws so hard.
Up the middle, hit the mound, with the shortstop Escobar shading him up the middle, able to make the play to end the inning. No score after 1.
Hop over to McDonald's for juicy chicken McBites. McDonald's, I'm loving it. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers.
Second inning, Adam Lynn will lead off for Toronto. And Jimenez in there for a first pitch strike. Lynn 1 for 3 with a double on opening day. High pop. The second baseman Kipnis backpedaling. He's under that for out number 1. Well, let's check in for the first time today with our Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, Rick, all through the offseason in the Dominican Republic, Ubaldo Jimenez and Carlos Santana worked out together. Santana told me today they spent on average 3 to 4 hours a day, not only throwing, but hitting the weights, where Ubaldo put on 8 pounds of muscle, mostly in that lower half, and that is why Santana says he sees that consistent delivery within Jimenez now.
Thanks, Katie. And that's really a key, is that the consistency of his delivery. He's got a lot of moving parts in that delivery.
Well, it's hard to be consistent for him. That's the one thing, with the way he brings his arm back. And, there's so many moving parts. It's tough to be consistent.
The 2-0. Broke his bat and hit it off his foot, I believe he did.
You hope he did.
He didn't move.
He got deep into the kitchen, I'll tell you that.
Might not have been able to run had he
No,
had
he
had
would
to.
not. I mean, watch how far. That ball moves in on him, and it comes down right onto his foot. So it not only cost him a bat, but it also cost him a bruise on top of his foot. And that's embarrassing. You don't want to do that as a hitter.
2-1 the count for Encarnacion. And that's outside, 3-1. Hit to left. Duncan is there. 2 down. Time now to check out our AT&T trivia question. Last Indians pitcher to throw a shutout on opening day. I want to say, and not that somebody hasn't done it since then, but I think I remember Bartolo Colon shutting out the Angels on opening day. Back in Anaheim. Maybe 2002. Now the 0-1. In there for a strike. And it's 0-2. The thing I remember about that was when we played, it was the Sunday night opener. We had Monday off.
Oh, okay.
Down in the dirt. A ball and 2 strikes to Brett Lowry. 0 for 6, couple of strikeouts for the Blue Jays third baseman on the.
He wasn't facing Shigetoshi Hasagama back then, was he?
Can't tell you who the opener for the Angels.
Just curious, because I remember when we opened out in the West Coast a number of years.
Swung on and missed. Jimenez gets his first strikeout. He's retired the first 6 Blue Jays in order. Scoreless, middle of the second.
Getting Shiggy.
No score, bottom of the second. Part of the order for the Indians due up here. Carlos Santana, Travis Hafner, and Shelley Duncan. Santana was 0 for 4 on opening day. He did, however, draw 3 walks.
That doesn't surprise you, does it?
Well, first ball swinging. He'll ground out to second.
Well, you can create some fond memories this season with the Indians Flex Packs. It's presented by Discount Drug Mart. You can split up to 10 tickets however you want. I mean, they have different game options where you can come on out for bobblehead nights, jersey giveaways, or any of the other special events throughout the year. Check out the different teams. Call 216-420-HITS or log on to Indians.com.
Travis Hafner steps in. They'll shift on the infield. They'll take the third baseman, Lowry, and put him over in the hole between first and second base out on the outfield grass. And Hafner takes a strike. He was 1 for 4 on opening day. Trying to take that right side hit away from Pronk. Missed down low with the fastball, 1-1. You were talking about Lowry and, Morrow and the split change and trying to get some difference between the fastball and the off-speed pitches. That's something that they really worked a lot on in spring training with his changeup and his off-speed pitch.
Well, the one thing that's nice is John Farrell, pitching coach, used to be with Boston. He can go out and help it in his own right. When you want a variance from your pitcher, this guy has a great arm, and he could be a very great pitcher. And that's the Jays are going to go as long as their pitchers carry them.
Hafner lines one to left. Thames, 2 down. But as you know, from a hitter's standpoint, anytime you're facing a pitcher and everything sort of looks the same in terms of speed, it doesn't make it that tough on a hitter.
Yeah, and everybody looks at around the 10-mile-per-hour range where you want to go from your fastball to your changeup or your curveball from your whatever your slowest pitch is compared to your fastball. You would like to have that kind of variance because it keeps the hitters honest. It doesn't matter if it's a changeup, a curveball, just something to take them off of your best pitch.
Up high with the heater.
And that's the key to pitching is keeping a hitter off balance and keeping the ball out of the middle of the bat. And you do that by changing speeds. For hitters, it doesn't matter if you throw 130 miles an hour. They will eventually catch up to it if that's all you're throwing, and that's all you can throw for strikes. They don't care. They will find a way to turn the dial up and catch up to it.
One ball, one strike. Glanced off the bat. And Duncan now down on the count.
Yeah, that's a pitch right there that it goes from instead of being 2-1 where you're in the favor, where it just catches his bat. He didn't even mean to swing at it.
Barrel.
He just barely flinched, and that ball went off his barrel, and now he's down in the count compared to you'd much rather hit 2-1 off this guy than 1-2.
Down low to even the count. Duncan had a big double that really got the Indians offense rolling Thursday afternoon. And then later in that inning, Jack Hanahan clobbered the 3-run homer. And the 2-2. Full count.
See, you can't hit with that breaking ball, so you figure, okay, here we go. 3-2, I got myself back into a hitter's count, and let's go for that fastball and sit on it. Ed Shelley's he's a good fastball hitter. Here it comes.
Got a good rip at it, followed it back.
And he got one away from him, too.
He wanted that in.
Yes. You know, he missed his location and still got away with it. And this is when, you know, you say throw strikes. Well, he threw a strike and he just fouled it off. But that's where you can get away with mistakes, is when you can throw 94 and above. You know, guys that are throwing 92 and below, they don't get away with those as often as the guys that throw a little harder.
Duncan draws a walk, second issued by Morrow, and the Indians have a 2-out base runner here in the second. John Farrell has watched Morrow walk a couple here in the first 2 innings. Now Casey Kochman, who had a tough day at the dish on Thursday, going 0 for 7. That's up high, ball 1. Casey had a chance to win it in the 9th with the winning run at third and 1 out, but with the infield in, he had a chopper to first base, where Batista was able to grab it, keep the runner at third. 2-0. And now Aaron Sebia is going to go out to talk to Morrow.
I'm going to take the time to send some condolences out to the Mulder family. Mike Mulder, who passed away last month, was a bat boy when I played back in 1975, a good kid and loved baseball. He still worked with Willie Jenks down there in the visitors clubhouse. That no longer with us, so I'd just like to pass along the condolences and all the best to the Mulder family. And we're certainly going to miss Mike.
And the 2-0. Morrow, 31 pitches so far, 16 for strikes. Duncan held at first by Lynn. And the 2-1 is called a strike to even the count.
You know, when you get into this kind of weather after leaving spring training, and of course the Jays are down in Florida and Indians out in Arizona, it's still, even though it's nice and sunny, it's a little tough to get a feel for your breaking ball and a grip on change-ups because the baseball is slick. I mean, the fastball you have no problem gripping with the seams, but it's a little more difficult trying to control everything else.
It's a full count now for Kochman.
And this is already his third full count of the day.
Duncan will be off at first. Kochman tries to keep the inning alive for Cleveland. And the payoff pitch is a little squibber back to the mound. Morrow will throw him out. And we will go to the third, still no score. Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Bottom third of the Blue Jays order due up here. Eric Thames, J.P. Arancibia, and Colby Rasmus. Thames takes a strike. He went 0 for 4 Thursday. Missed up high to even the count. In the air, left center. Brantley on the move. He's calling for it. He's got it. 1 away. Check in once again with Katie Witham out in the bleachers.
I am. One of the best seats in this house, Matt. I'm telling you, it's warm out here. You've got to get out. We've got tons of promotions going on this year. Fireworks, Rally Alley, bobbleheads, jerseys. You can get a new jersey. Go online, Indians.com, and get your tickets and get out to the ballpark this year, guys.
Thanks, Katie. I'm not sure I would have believed her when she said it's warm out there, but I see a couple of guys in shirt sleeves.
Yeah, it's good. Look at them. They're warm.
Well, Katie, she's lying. She dressed up. She put on 2 or 3 pairs of pants today because she was so cold on opening day.
They look comfortable. JP Arencibia.
Well, if you're sitting in the sunshine, it certainly should help.
Arencibia played the role of villain for Cleveland fans in the opener when he hit the 3-run homer that gave the Jays their ultimate victory. And Tom Bochenek, our statistician, was telling me that for the Blue Jays, they've never had a home run hit later in a game than Arencibia's.
Well, this is a guy, Arencibia. He has homered.
He and Jack Hanahan.
Day. Yeah, he and Jack Hanahan, 3 times. Hanahan has a streak of 4 going. That's how hot he is when you're talking about opening days.
Now Arencibia with a 2-2 count. Bounced it in front of the dish. Now the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed, and Jimenez has his second strikeout, 2 down here in the third.
You're going to see him throw the fastball up top and had a little movement to it above the belt. And he swings through it. You know, when you talk about the home runs, there were 3 home runs hit, Bautista, Hanahan, and Arencibia. Every one of those home runs came on a breaking ball. You know, the ball had stayed up. They were all bad pitches, and they were all taken advantage of.
And that's Dribble Cabrera. Grabs the pop-up, and it's a 10-pitch third inning for Ubaldo Jimenez. Flying the flag, bottom of the third, no score. Jason Kipnis will lead off for the Indians. Kipnis 0 for 5. He walked a couple of times in the opener. Up high. Kipnis in a pretty good spot here, 3-0. He can wait for Morrow. And he does find the outside part of the plate for a strike. Chops one a second. Johnson throws him out, 1 down. Our great clip of the game takes us back to Thursday. Jack Hanahan got a breaking ball and hammered it off Ricky Romero for a 3-run homer that gave the Indians a 4-0 lead at that point. Great clips. It's gonna be great.
Well, he loves opening days the way he hits home runs. Didn't you say that was his 3rd consecutive?
Yeah. Well, you know, against the left-hander too. He just stays right locked in against the lefties.
Well, his approach, we talked to him in spring training, it's just like you do not try to do too much. You see the ball and you try and hit it where it's pitched off the left-hander. Sometimes you have a tendency of the right-handers a little better. And I'm not saying every right-hander, but sometimes you got a guy 3/4 something, you see it, and maybe that front shoulder flies open, the front hip, you're just not as close and as quick. And just trust your hands. But Jack has done a good job trusting his hand when he's facing left-handers.
And the 1-1. Lays off. It's too high. Well, let's not also forget, I mean, last year, as the season wore on, his wife was pregnant. The baby came several weeks prematurely. And so he had a lot on his mind, a lot to worry about, a lot of anxiety. And after everything worked out for the best, he was able to just sort of relax. He told me in spring training it also said, it just kind of changed my whole perspective. He said, we're all looking for perspective. And he said, when you're a professional player, you get kind of caught up in every game and how important every at-bat is. And he said after that, it just sort of let me relax a little bit.
Loosened him. Yeah, loosened him up. The reality.
2-2. Inside full count. Another full count. Morrow has had a lot of those, and this will be his 45th pitch of the game.
It's number 4 for him.
Hanahan clobbers it to center. Rasmus, though, able to make the grab for out number 2. Take a look at our University Hospitals minor league update. Lonnie Chisenhall last night in a 3-2 win for Columbus. Went 2 for 4 with a solo home run. So he's off to a good start, swinging the bat well for the Clippers. And with 2 down, here's Michael Brantley. Michael takes a strike. Went down swinging his first time up. Over the head of Morrow, and the shortstop Escobar throws him out. Indians go 1-2-3 for the first time today, and we are scoreless through 3. Here at Progressive Field, Ubaldo Jimenez in his first 3 innings has made 33 pitches, and 20 of those have been strikes. He's looked sharp here in the early going. Has retired all 9 that he has faced with a couple of strikeouts. Going back to spring training, I remember there was a start, not his last start, but the second to last start for Jimenez. He got through 5 innings in the game, but he made 90 pitches to do so. And Manny Acta said afterwards that was the one thing that was of concern to him, because we saw that a number of times last year to where, he pitched 5 pretty good innings, but it took him so many pitches to get through it that you were into your bullpen a lot earlier than you'd like.
Well, from what I've witnessed today, he's doubled up on his changeup a couple of times right there. He started him off breaking ball, strike 1. He's doubled up on his breaking balls, but he is throwing more strikes. And that's the one thing you like to see. He was able to get a couple outs on 1 pitch, which is a very good thing.
Kipnis takes care of Escobar for out number 1. Well, this great spring weather so far means that folks have already been out hitting the links.
Still a little chilly.
Well, now, but while we were in Arizona, they had 70s and even 80-degree days here in Cleveland.
Ready for golf, you're right.
And that means Jimmy Hanlon, his phone lines have been burning up on the Golf Zone, driven by Menor Kia. Check out Jimmy Sunday nights at 9 on STO. Of course, tomorrow night he'll have a big show, not only talking about your golf game, but the Masters as well. Kelly Johnson fly to center his first time up, takes a strike. It's 1-1. Two balls and a strike for Johnson. And a good off-speed pitch from Jimenez evens the count at 2-2. And the 2-2 is fouled right back. ESPN.com reporting that Ubaldo Jimenez will drop his appeal of his suspension after today.
Serve his 5 games and get it over with.
So he'll miss his next start. Scheduled start. 2-2. Chop foul. Breaking ball fouled right back.
Jimenez in his career has made 4 career starts against American League East teams. He's been very successful, going 3-0 against them. The only time he faced the Blue Jays, it was a rain-shortened 5-3 win back in 2010 when he was a Colorado Rocky.
Lazy fly to left. Duncan on the move into foul ground, has to go to a slide and makes a catch. Nice grab by Duncan in foul territory for out number 2.
The ball seemed like it died, didn't it? He didn't hit it well because that thing is sort of just going away from him. As Duncan comes in, this is going to be our McDonald's I'm loving it play because he does make a nice running catch. Gets over to that foul line and stays with it, catches it, and picks it up right before it hits the ground. Nice catch.
And now Jose Bautista, ground out to third his first time up, looks at a fastball low and away for ball 1. Too high with the heat, and it's 2-0. Came with the off-speed pitch, tried to catch the inside corner, but he missed with it, and it's 3-0. And he poured that fastball in there, 3-1 the count. Bautista walked 132 times a year ago, the most by any player since Barry Bonds back in 07. Good breaking ball in there for a strike, full count.
Well, he went 3-0, good fastball away. Then he started the breaking ball at him and comes to the inside part of the plate or a front door breaking ball and gets the call.
Now the 3-2. Line to center. Brantley makes the head high catch. Again, the Blue Jays go in order. 49 pitches for Jimenez through 4 innings of work. No score. No hits in the game. The Indians have had a couple of walks, as Drupal Cabrera drew one of those, and he leads off the home half of inning number 4. Lazy pop, foul ground. Laurie gives it a look, but can't get to it. As Drupal Cabrera became the first Indian shortstop to win the Silver Slugger Award last year. Most RBIs of any American League shortstop, and only Troy Tulowitzki of Colorado had more ribbies. There's a fly ball to right. Bautista. One away. Going to bring up Shin-Soo Choo. Choo grounded out his first time up. Hit a sharp ground ball that hit the mound as it was headed up the middle, but Escobar was able to track it down. And a strike over the outside corner. In the air to center. Rasmus again. Just a few strides back, 2 down. A couple of putouts for the Blue Jays center fielder, but they've both been hit right at him. And with 2 down, that'll bring up Carlos Santana. Brandon Morrow was originally a first-round pick, the 5th overall selection by Seattle back in 2006.
You know, he's been a bullpen guy, and now he's in the starting rotation. So with his arm, you can see how he can become valuable in either spot. You can see how he has closer stuff when he just airs it out, but also can give you some quality innings as a starter.
Well, and it's really worked out well for Toronto because anytime you can trade a reliever, Brandon League, to get a guy who's a starter, then that's turned out to be a good trade for Toronto.
Well, remember when John Farrell was here, how valuable is that guy? He's more valuable if he can give me 30 starts of 7 innings or 6 innings, you know what I'm saying, than 40 or 50 appearances of just 1 inning at a time.
Yeah, John always said, if you have a guy who can get me 21 outs as opposed to a guy who can get me 3, I want the guy who give me the 21 outs.
He's going to be more valuable to your ball club, unless you're like a Rivera, but there's not many of those.
And the 2-1. Santana with a blast to right, but Batista is going to flag it down, and the Indians go 1-2-3. 4 complete from Progressive Field, no score.
No. With 17 locations in Northeast Ohio. And by Burger King, proud sponsor of opening week baseball.
Top of the 5th, no score. Adam Lynn, Edwin Encarnacion, and Brett Laurie for Toronto. Adam Lynn popped up on the infield his first time up. And a breaking ball is high for ball 1.
Both these pitchers have been pretty darn good, pretty efficient. Making the guys swing the bat, and nobody has a lot of knock yet.
Well, there have been 24 outs in the game. 10 via the outfield, 8 ground ball outs, 3 strikeouts. And there's a called strike. A couple of pop-ups and a foul out, I believe, is the other. So, and the 2-1. One of the few times today Jimenez has fallen behind 3 balls and a strike. Line to left. Duncan makes the catch. 1 down. Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Let's go back to last year in Texas. Shelley Duncan, that fantastic game defensively he had.
It was the first inning, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3. Back to back to back. And it makes a nice sliding catch. See, they were testing him going back last year. This year they're going to try and test him coming in. He's ready for the occasion.
Now the 1-0. Encarnacion, I mean, that's the epitome of coming out of your shoes.
Well, he got the breaking ball, so he was going to let it fly. He does not get cheated. And I'll tell you, he has been doing a lot of work with Jose Bautista because, you know, Bautista is like a student. He talks to everybody. And with this guy hitting behind him, and you can see this guy's got some thump in the bat. Had the big hit off Perez in game 1. You know, they just couldn't find him a position, but DH is just fine for him because he swings it hard.
Did you ever find during your career, though, the guys that were really exceptionally talented have a hard time telling you how they do it. You know, as far as being able to coach you, because so much of it just comes naturally.
Well, it could be. I think what you're talking about, Frank Robinson was such a great player, and when he became a manager, it might have been a little more difficult for him because things became easy for him, and it was tough for him to explain it or relate to the normal individual.
Or understand, why can't you do that?
Yeah, right, or understand why, hey, it's just that easy.
Yeah, right.
I mean, he was like from the Earl Weaver's career, he couldn't understand why pitchers didn't throw strikes. But, yeah, I know what you're saying, but somebody that has that ability to relate it to people.
Those are the guys that make great coaches.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, great hitters, like Ted Williams, for example. I remember Davey Nelson, said that Ted Williams used to say, well, can't you see that breaking ball out of the pitcher's hand? And Davey would say, no.
Yeah, we can. We don't have eyes like you, Eagle Eye.
2 down for Brett Lawrie, who struck out his first time up.
But you don't see many great players that were coaching nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The 0-1.
I don't know why.
Well, Mark McGwire, of course, is...
he did a great job with the Cardinals hitters last year. And I think it's a carryover this year. He had some of those young kids. You look at David Freese that, there's some really good fastball hitters.
Good breaking ball by Jimenez, in for a strike, and it's 1-2. Ubaldo with the crowd sensing another 1-2-3 inning. And now Brett Lawrie steps away. Now the one and the 1-2. Got him looking at a breaking ball.
Nice pitch.
Once again, Ubaldo Jimenez sets him down in order. His third strikeout of the day, scoreless, middle of the fifth. Will lead off the home half of the fifth for the Indians. Then Shelley Duncan and Casey Kochman. Brandon Morrow has walked 2 and struck out 1 in his 4 innings of work. Hafner flied to left his first time up. Takes the ball down low. Missed outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Once again, the Blue Jays have a 3-man shift on the right side. They take their third baseman, Brett Lawrie, and put him in shallow right field, way out on the grass. At the knees, outside corner. Hafner doesn't like it. It's 2-1.
Well, it's not a pitch he's going to swing at. I mean, he's probably upset that the call was a strike. 2-0 count, you get a little more selective, and he's got a legitimate beef. That ball was downstairs.
Here's the 2-1. He flinched. It's a ball, 3-1 the count.
And you come right back, and that pitch looked like that was a better pitch than the one before that.
Called a strike at a full count. His 5th full count of the day. Brandon Morrow with the payoff pitch. Hafner with a ground ball to first. Lynn gobbles it up. One down. If you're on Facebook, follow Sports Time Ohio and keep up to date with your favorite programs. Plus, you can upload your photos that we might even use in a commercial. Check it all out at facebook.com/STOHD. And Shelley Duncan will bat here. He walked in the second inning. Couple of National League games underway. Mets lead the Braves 1-0 in the fourth. Nationals lead the Cubs 2-1 in the fourth at Wrigley. Here's the wide on the 1-0. And a strike called. Swung on and missed. And now Duncan down on the count.
Well, he came back and located the slider away pretty well.
Popped him up. Playable here. Laurie, the third baseman, takes it. And there are two down. You mentioned before, Rick, that the Blue Jays will go this year as far as their starting pitching will take them. Last year, only the Colorado Rockies used more starting pitchers than the Toronto Blue Jays. They used a total of 12 different starters last year. The Rockies used 13. When you're running that many different guys in and out of your rotation, that's tough to stay consistent.
You're talking about the starters, and they didn't have a bullpen to back it up. You know, if you did get a lead late in the game, they struggled. They didn't have a legitimate closer. This year, they went out and strengthened that bullpen.
Yeah, they did.
So if their starters can take them deep into the game, I'm thinking 6th, 7th inning for a majority of the time, they should be a really competitive ball club. I think the one thing they have going against them is that, you know, they play in the American League East, that they have to go up against probably the best offenses in the game.
Yeah.
When you look at New York, you look at Boston. Baltimore's certainly got a good offense.
And then you've got to outpitch Tampa. Which is tough.
That's true. That is tough. They came back and beat the Yankees yesterday 7-6, and they got Mariano Rivera. So, yeah, I mean, but they're a good club. They can score, and they're real proud of their bullpen, at least to this point right now. Now, whether it stays that way is yet to be seen.
Tampa is at the other end of that spectrum. They only used 8 starting pitchers all of last year.
They're good, and a lot of them are young pitchers, and they're right back again.
2-strike pitch to Kochman. Another little tapper out in front of the mound. Aaron Sebia throws it wide of Lynn, who can't scoop it out, and Kochman is safe on what will probably be an error on Aaron Sebia.
No question about it. That's an easy play. I don't know what happened if he missed the grip on it. But, I mean, again, Kochman hits the ball right out in front of home plate. He's done that a number of times early this year. That was just a bad throw.
That sure was.
That ball took off on him and right out in front of the plate. That's beating up on the worms right there. Aaron Sebia just sort of spikes that ball at first base, and he will be on first with an error.
And the inning stays alive for Jason Kipnis, looking for his first hit of the year. 0 for 6 thus far. Takes a fastball high. If the Indians can take advantage of that break now. Low 2-0. No score here in the bottom of the 5th. Runner at first with 2 down, and the 2-0 to Kipnis. Takes a strike. This will be Brandon Morrow's 75th pitch of the day. And Kipnis just got a piece of that. It's 2-2.
Right now, a little bit to me, it looks like Jason pulling off the baseball a little bit. He's a guy that really has a good eye at the plate and uses the whole field. Had a pitch in his favor last one, and it looks like he just tried to pull it.
Full count. So Kochman will get a head start at first. There goes the runner. And a 3-2 hit high in the air. Right field. Back is Bautista. He's out of room. It's out of here. Jason Kipnis with a 2-out, 2-run homer gives the Indians a 2-0 lead. They make them pay for the 2-out error.
Well, this ball had enough carry. He put a good swing here. You watch him right there. Fastball, middle end. Very quick with the hands. You see him react in, and he realized I think I hit enough of it to get it out of here. Bautista goes back. We'll look at it at the wall, and the Indians will come back and take the lead in this ball game. But it was the 4th out in the inning that allowed them to score.
And it's the first hit in this game, as Jack Hanahan sends one high and foul out of play. Jason Kipnis, his first hit of the year is a 2-run blast, and the Indians have a 2-0 lead. Caught the corner. It's 0-2. Two-strike pitch, missed inside. Now the 1-2.
Yes, he did.
He did not go, says the third base umpire, Tim Welke.
Caught a break. Looked like it. From my vantage point, let's look at it from the side. I've seen it called before for worse, but if you're the hitter and you're Jack Hanahan, you say thank you very much. You get an extra swing.
Well, the Indians took advantage of their first break in the inning. Now the 2-2. Fouled away. Boy, what that error did was two things. One, it kept the inning alive for Kipnis to hit the home run. And instead of for Morrow to be out of the inning at around 75 pitches, now he's over 80.
Yeah, right.
And still going.
Well, how many times throughout the course of the year do we see it?
Yeah.
I mean, an error is made and teams take advantage of it. And when you get an opportunity like that, you should take advantage of it.
Hanahan's out looking, but Jason Kipnis has the Tribe on top with a 2-out, 2-run homer. 2-zip Cleveland through 5.
Restaurant and pick up your Wahoo Bucks $5 discount coupons for Subway Extreme Fan Zone. It's the place to be for a chance to win Subway gift cards, Indians fun money, and you'll get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat.
Sixth inning, 2-0 Cleveland. Bottom third of the Blue Jays order due up here. Jimenez misses high for ball one. Bounced up the middle. Kipnis on the short hop pick. Throws off balance and gets him at first. Nice play by Jason Kipnis for out number 1. Had to get this on that little in-between hop.
Well, once you commit, though, you have to come in and get that ball. So you start charging it, and on the run, Kipnis makes the play.
J.P. Arancibia struck out swinging his first time up. Swings away at the first pitch. Jack Hanahan scoops it up, 2 away. Our game recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Ubaldo Jimenez perfect through now 5 2/3 innings. And he's been dynamite here this afternoon. And of course, Jason Kipnis with the 2-run homer. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. And a strike to Colby Rasmus, who popped up on the infield his first time up. Back to the screen it goes. 2 balls and a strike. You were saying before the game it looked like Rasmus has diminished that high leg kick that he used to have in St. Louis.
He used to really have a high one up there, and it's just a pick up and put it down now. So they're probably changed that a little bit. The guy has great power. I mean, for not a very big guy, but that leg kick probably generated a lot of it, and he probably swung through and struck out a lot. So they want him to cut that down, and hopefully it's not going to alleviate a lot of his power. And there's the first base runner for the Jays.
2-out walk puts Rasmus at first. With 2 down here in the 6th, and now Yunel Escobar 0 for 2 will be the batter. Breaking ball fouled away. '75th pitch of the day right here for Jimenez. In the air right field. Chu is there. He's got it. And Ubaldo Jimenez, a no-hitter through 6, 2-0 Cleveland. Ubaldo Jimenez sitting by himself in the Indians dugout.
It usually is that way when you're this late into a ball game and you haven't allowed a hit yet. You're sitting by yourself. No one wants to bother you or interrupt you. And people just mind their own business and stay away.
Well, wasn't it just on opening night? Kyle Loesch took it into the 7th inning.
Yeah, he did. Down at the new ballpark in Miami.
Michael Brantley leads off the home half of the 6th, 0 for 2 on the day. Brandon Morrow has only allowed 1 hit, but he trails 2-0.
Well, it was the extra out that the Indians received in that inning. Now,
right up the middle. Backhanded by Johnson. Low throw. 1 away. Let's head back to the Hyundai Studios for this update. Here's Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt, let's go to New York where the Mets taking on the Braves today. David Wright, a good start. He's 2 for 2, and he has this solo home run, his first of the season. Mets lead Atlanta 2-0. R.A. Dickey has a 3-hitter through 4 innings. Back to you.
Thanks, Al. 2-0 Tribe, bottom of the 6th, as Dribble Cabrera takes a strike. He has walked and flied out today. And Cabrera with the drive to center. Rasmus able to run it down. 2 away.
Well, you can say big this season with the Indians' flex packs. All packs have flexible seating and game options, and discounted off the regular ticket price. Call 216-420-HITS or log on to Indians.com.
Man with 2 down, Shin-Soo Choo steps up 0 for 2 on the day. He has grounded out, flied out. Fastball outside. That'll catch the corner, 1-1. Boy, he just shaved the outside edge. Chu not in agreement.
Well, you have to let the umpire know when you disagree with him, and that's exactly what he did. Didn't really say a whole lot. Just went back and said, no.
90 pitches for Morrow on the day. That's up high. Got some guys moving around down in that Toronto Blue Jay bullpen, but I don't believe anybody's up throwing yet. Full count. 2 down and the base is empty here in the bottom of the 6th. And the payoff right back up the middle, knocked down by Morrow. And a low throw dug out by Lynn for out number 3. 6 in the books here at Progressive Field. It's the Indians 2 and the Blue Jays nothing.
Rally Alley is back here at Progressive Field this year. 15 different dates where you can come hang out before the game, have some fun in the street festival. We also have Replica Jersey Day. There's 4 different dates where you can come out to the ballpark. The first 15,000 fans will get a jersey of a player that you love. What better way to get a free jersey, right? Log on to Indians.com and get your tickets now. Matt, Rick, back up to you guys.
Boy, Katie, everybody's so serious looking around you down there in the stands.
Well, Katie's around there. She's like, tell them to loosen up, Katie. We're winning 2-0.
Yeah, but maybe everybody's serious because of what's at hand. Ubaldo Jimenez. He has been tremendous here today. 75 pitches through 6.
Well, that's exactly, what we talked about at the start of the game is the pitch count. If he keeps it down, look at him. He's into the 7th inning now, and 78 pitches going? That's unbelievable.
1 Blue Jay has reached. Colby Rasmus with a 2-out walk in the 6th. But now he's 3-0 to Kelly Johnson. Caught the outside edge. It's 3-1. And he walked him. Second walk for Jimenez. And the Blue Jays get their leadoff man aboard for Jose Bautista, who is 0 for 2.
No, that's sort of not the guy you want to walk. Is the guy right before this guy coming up. That's
hit a high and way foul. The upper deck down the first base side.
Well, you know he's going to let one fly because he does it early in the count. Must have been a changeup trying to run it in there.
Popped him in the air to right. Chu had trouble seeing it. Now Brantley's got to come in at the last minute and make the catch. And scampering back to first is Kelly Johnson. Chu I don't think he ever saw it, Rick. He was looking to Brantley to help him out from the get-go.
Well, one of those things, but that sun's got to be right in his face. And that's why you have to stay with it. Good job by Michael just to stay with it. You realize that you're helping your partner out over there. It's tough for him to look up, and it's about as blue as you can get here in Cleveland. There's not a cloud in the sky to help you pick it up.
Adam Lind 0 for 2.
Sometimes you need all the help you can get.
And a strike is called. Breaking ball, and it just missed. Two and one the count on Adam Lind. Just now getting some activity in the Indians bullpen. It's left-hander Rafael Perez.
I think this is just his second toss.
Yeah, Jimenez had 85 pitches on the day.
Good change.
Sure was. Foul tipped into the glove.
2-1, your dead fastball count. And I mean, this is not only is the speed of the pitch very good, but the movement of this pitch going down. That's an excellent pitch and a 2-1 count to a good hitter.
3-2, full count. Crowd wanted strike three. Went up and in with it.
Well, he followed that good changeup up with the fastball in. He locked him out. I'll tell you, it's a little inside or it might be a little up, but it's not off by much. But he locked him up. He couldn't pull the trigger on it.
The payoff pitch, runner goes. It's low, ball 4, and he's walked 2 in the inning. Now the go-ahead run will come to the plate.
That's patience right there as a hitter.
Scott Radinsky, pitching coach, going to go to the mound here. While they talk things over, we'll take a look at the AT&T trivia question. Last Indians pitcher to throw a shutout on opening day. I was thinking back to Bartolo Colon right around 0-2.
I think you were
There you
right.
go. How about
man.
that? It was a Sunday night game.
He was matched up against Jared Washburn that game.
Yeah.
That's what, 10 years ago?
10 years.
Uh-huh.
And Bartolo Colon's still pitching.
Yes, he is.
With the Oakland A's now.
Did you see his first game over in Japan?
No.
About 8 innings and gave up
Dominant.
1 run. Yeah, he was very good. And it was just fastballs, that little knife that darts out.
Edwin Encarnacion 0 for 2 today. Jimenez right back in there with a strike. Give him an off-speed pitch to get ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. Encarnacion almost like doing a double take back at Jimenez after swinging and missing at that pitch. Two on, 1 out. And the 0-2. Popped him up on the infield. Kipnis. Infield fly rule in effect. 2 down. And now Brett Laurie 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts on the day.
Well, whatever Scott Radinsky told him, he certainly listened. He came out and he came right back, was aggressive to get ahead in the count, and buried him early. He didn't fall behind or waste anything. He went right at him to get out number 2.
The pitch to Laurie. In the dirt, Santana blocks it. He's going to throw down to second, and it's not in time. Close play, but Lynn just beat the tag of Kipnis. And now the Blue Jays have the tying run in scoring position.
You know what? He made the right call of going to second base, of throwing through, because that guy on first has to wait and make sure that that guy from second is going to go to third. But you'll see he does get the foot in right before the tag. Kipnis did everything he did in his power. It was bang, bang, awfully close. But now the tying runs in scoring position after the wild pitch. So now he's going to take a base hit. Smart play, because a lot of times, you'll go after that lead guy at third base. You're not going to have a chance. That guy on first base has to make sure that guy goes, so he's going to be about a step slower.
1-0 count to Laurie. And a liner to center, base hit, tie game. First hit of the game, knocks it up. A 2-out, 2-run single by Brett Laurie.
How about that? You talk about taking advantage of mistakes in a ball game. Both the innings where runs were scored by mistakes. The error by Toronto, then the home run, the 2 walks, wild pitch, and now the first base hit. Jimenez gives up. It was a fastball up out over the plate. Laurie just went ahead and slapped it the other way for a single. We got a brand new ball game. Both teams with 2 runs, both teams with 1 hit.
And now Eric Thames 0 for 2. Swing and a miss. Now ball to second. Kipnis will throw him out. Stretch time in Cleveland. We are tied at 2. And our 7th inning stretch brought to you by the Cleveland Clinic, where every life deserves world-class care. Call 216-444-CARE for an appointment today.
Telecast is presented by the authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Bottom of the 7th inning. And a look in from our Panini's cam. Get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. For the Indians, Carlos Santana, Travis Hafner, and Shelley Duncan. Brandon Morrow will start the inning at 93 pitches on the day. Santana 0 for 2. Carlos looking for his first hit of the year, 0 for 6. Each starting pitcher has allowed 1 hit in this game. And a strike evens the count at 1-1. And it's now 3-1. Oh, Santana let her rip, but the pitch was about let her high. Couldn't catch up to it.
Well, they have their bullpen left and right ready and loose. Jansen and Oliver.
Now the payoff pitch to Santana. And he walked him. The Indians get the leadoff man aboard. For every home run hit this season by the Indians, Rick and I are donating $5 each, and Great Clips is donating $50 to the Gathering Place. Our season total now at $120 after the Jason Kipnis home run. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. Travis Hafner 0 for 2. He is flied to left and grounded to first. And this next pitch will be number 100 for Blue Jays right-hander Brandon Morrow. Almost hit him with it. Came inside, and Aaron Sebia out to tuck. Once again, Toronto with the shift on, but with a runner at first, it's a little bit of a different shift. They don't have Laurie. Yeah, they don't have Laurie, the third baseman, swung all the way out into the outfield grass and pulled around. But he is in that hole trying to take that hit away.
You know, you probably think why Laurie's all the way over there at second base playing in the hole instead of moving Escobar over and putting Laurie where he's at. Laurie, a natural second baseman.
Mm-hmm.
So you just keep him over on that side where he probably feels most comfortable because he's learning third base himself.
Now a 1-1 pitch to Hafner.
Look at that.
Fair down the third base line. No, it's called foul.
You got to be kidding me.
Steve Smith arguing at the third base umpire, Tim Welke, that it was a fair ball. And Smitty better be careful. He might get tossed.
He saw it. I'll tell you what. He saw it. That was a fair ball. I'm telling you that from my vantage point, and we're behind it.
Steve Smith is pointing to the chalk. He's saying right here it hit the chalk. And
oh, boy. That was right over the bag. Now, Smitty's standing in foul territory as well.
Well, I tell you what, Tim Welke is giving Steve Smith a lot of latitude, which might lead you to believe maybe he didn't get the best look at it.
Smitty just better be careful. Let the manager do the arguing. That's why he's out there. But Manny's got to go ahead and stick up for it because I thought it was a fair ball.
Boy, it sure looked like it was.
Get after him. My goodness. Let's go. Show some energy.
Take another look.
Watch
here.
this. High hopper over the bag, and it hits right on the line. Wow. That had to go over the bag. Even it's not where it lands, it's where it goes over the bag.
So maybe a bad break for the Indians right there. That would have been second and third at least.
Oh, that's
maybe more.
That's a turning point in this ball game right there.
Hafner ends up striking out.
That's a turning point in the game.
One down. Take one more look at it. Just needs to get chalk.
Well,
or if it just
doesn't
goes
even
over the
have
bag
to get chalk. It's got to go over the bag fair.
If you look at the shadow, it looks like it did go over the bag.
I will
fair.
say this about Welke. He was right in position, but I can't believe that ball didn't go over the bag fair, to be honest with you. Even if it didn't hit chalk, it couldn't have missed by much. He was in position, though. I give him credit. He was right there standing. But that's a tough call, close call.
Shelley Duncan has walked and fouled out. And Duncan grounds it to third. Laurie goes to second for one. On to first, an inning-ending double play.
Orthopedic mattress made right here in Northeast Ohio. And by Burger King, proud sponsor of opening week baseball.
All right, we go to the 8th inning, and the day is over for Ubaldo Jimenez, who went 7 innings. And then he allowed 2 runs on 1 hit.
I don't know how he could pitch any better. He was brilliant today. Had nice breaking ball, off-speed pitches. He was doubling up on, throwing behind in the count. A couple of walks in the 1 inning, and the wild pitch is why he gave up the 2 runs. But Ubaldo could not pitch any better than what he did today.
Joe Smith will face J.P. Arancibia, Colby Rasmus, and Yunel Escobar here in the 8th. Inside ball 1. Cuts and misses. It's 1-1. Over the outside part of the plate, Arancibia not in agreement with Mark Carlson. He's down on the count now, 1-2. Struck him out. 1 down here in the 8th. Our highlight reel brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers. All about Ubaldo Jimenez here today.
Well, he moved it around. He was very good. He kept his pitch count down. He really moved it around. He did not allow a base run up until the 7th inning when he allowed the walk. And then a couple of walks ended up hurting him. But Jimenez, with 3 punchies, he really threw the ball very well today.
Well, you talked about it in our open, Rick. The key for Jimenez to follow the lead of Justin Masterson, and he did just that.
Yeah, he sure did. Well, you end up giving up 2 runs, but only the 1 hit. It's the wild pitch. He did walk 2. He walked 1 in the 6th, came back and walked the leadoff guy in the 7th. He was able to get Bautista out, but then back a 3-2. Adam Lind walked on a very patient at bat. Wild pitch had got him.
The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Joe Smith. 2 down.
There you go, the moving fastball. Smith gets Rasmus. Back-to-back strikeouts for Joe.
Top of the order, Yunel Escobar 0 for 3. A little bit low for ball 1. Inside, 2 balls, no strikes. Escobar 2 for 11 in the series. Rounded to second, there's Kipnis. And a 1-2-3 8th inning for Joe Smith. Home half of the 8th, straight ahead, tied at 2. Bottom of the 8th inning. And Toronto goes to their bullpen for the first time today.
Guess what? The wily old veteran back in again. Prepared for the second game this year. Darren Oliver went an inning in Thursday's game. Had a punch out. Coming on to face Kochman, Kipnis, Hanahan.
Kochman 0 for 2.
And this is the way we look at it. We probably will see any team that has a left-hander out of that bullpen. The Indians lineup is going to see him throughout the course of this year. with the left-handed heavy lineup that they have.
Curveball in for a strike.
Other than the couple of switch hitters of Cabrera and Santana, the only other right-handed hitter in that lineup's Shelley Duncan.
That's outside 2-1. And he takes a strike to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jason Kipnis on deck, then Jack Hanahan. Grounded into the hole. Laurie will make the play. I'll tell you what, somebody in that Toronto dugout is doing their job. It might be Torey Lovello, it might have been John Farrell, but just before that pitch was made, they were signaling to Laurie to move over into the hole. He took about 2 to 3 strides to his left. If he doesn't move, that ball's in the hole for a base hit.
Well, they've realized, look, hey, get off the line. We're going to give him something over there. We're going to try and take the hole away from him. And that's what those coaches do. That's what they get paid for. They have the scouting reports. You make sure those players are in position if your pitcher makes his pitch. Exactly the case in point right there.
Jason Kipnis, the 2-run homer with 2 outs in the 5th inning that gave the Indians a 2-0 lead. Sends one to second where Johnson throws him out. Box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, who invite you to come see the 2012 Sonata. Visit NorthernOhioHyundaiDealers.com today. 1 hit. It was the Kipnis 2-run homer. Only 1 hit for the Blue Jays as well today. And Jack Hanahan will be the batter. Called out on strikes his last time up. Popped him up. The second baseman, Johnson, has it, and the Indians go 1-2-3. We will go to the 9th, tied up at 2. Two in the 9th. Joe Smith worked a 1-2-3 8th inning, striking out a pair. Now Vinny Pistano comes on. Inning and a third of scoreless work Thursday.
Well, again, the second game in a row that's going to be turned over to the bullpens.
Now the key for Pistano is Jose Bautista, who's due up second in this inning.
The way it's been going, we could be here for another 16 innings today. Both teams with, 1 hit apiece. Both runs coming on to 1 hit. The Indians with a 2-run homer off the bat of Jason Kipnis. The Blue Jays, a 2-run single off the bat of Brett Laurie.
Kelly Johnson scored one of those runs when he walked to lead off the 7th. Up high for ball 1.
Well, and that's exactly what's going to happen with Vinny Pistano, a guy that's had some issues a little bit with left-handers in the past. He's going to get 2 left-handers. Lynn, the 4th place hitter, which will follow Bautista. So he's going to have 3 tough guys to face.
The 1-1. Tried to wrap that curveball around, couldn't do it. And it's 2-1. Three balls and a strike here in the ninth. Tied at 2. And a full count. Center field, Brantley going back. Onto the track, he's at the wall, and he can't get it. And the Blue Jays take the lead. Kelly Johnson with a solo homer to straightaway center field. His first of the year, and Toronto is on top 3-2.
Three-two pitch. Let's see what it is. It's looks like a slider up out over the plate, and he stays on it to straightaway center. Michael had a beat on it, and just not tall enough. Missed it by about a foot.
Slider in there for a strike. Pastano with a 1-1, and Batista taking it's a ball, 2-1. Hit him.
Yes, it did.
So Batista will take his base.
I don't know if he cut underneath that as a breaking ball or that was just a fastball that ran in on him. I'm not so sure. That ball looked like he cut under it. That might have been a breaking ball.
Still nobody out as Adam Lynn steps in. Pitch runs away. Down and in, it's 2-0, and Santana's going to go out. Give Pastano a moment just to relax.
There's
Sergio Santos now loosening for Toronto.
I guarantee the mistake that was made on Thursday with him coming into the ball game won't happen again. Remember that? When we thought it was Sergio Santos' time, if Perez was out there. And
right.
And then Perez went back out there. You said, I wonder if Santos is ready or not. Perez was told he was done. Thanks, nice job. And he ran out and went between the lines after he was told, and they had Santos to come into the ball game. So I guarantee that won't happen today.
They'll have a lasso on.
Oliver is done. He's done. He knows.
Darren's been around long enough to know.
He already's told John, I'm done, man.
I gave you my one. Fouled back. And a count 2-2. Line drive caught by Kipnis for out number 1. Now Batista able to scamper back. Stay tuned after today's ball game for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show. And we'll wrap it all up for you. Home of the lowest everyday tire price guarantee. A strike to Edwin Encarnacion, who is 0 for 3. No balls, 2 strikes. Indians will have the top of the order due up in the bottom of the 9th. Tribe trails 3-2. And that's up high. A ball and 2 strikes. 1 o'clock start again tomorrow as Derek Lowe will pitch for the Tribe in the series finale. We'll have it for you on Channel 3.
On Easter Sunday.
Strike 3 called. And Encarnacion out looking, 2 down.
There you go, right there. That's right down the middle. Just locked him up.
Brett Laurie had the 2-out, 2-run single in the 7th that tied this game up. His first hit of the year. He went into that at bat 0 for 8 with 4 strikeouts.
Well, it was a big one. It was certainly a big one.
Count is 2-0. Caught the corner. Got him to go fish, and the count is 2-2. Santana had a tough time even catching that pitch.
Well, I mean, he was patient, early in the at-bat, and then once he got to strike 1, he certainly, that's a pitch you do not want to swing at off Pistano.
And the 2-2 is fouled back. Again, the 2-2. Right field. Chu coming hard. He'll have to play it on a hop. On his way to third is Batista, and he's just in ahead of the throw. Blue Jays at the corners with 2 down.
I thought this one was going to stay up enough, but it's another slider away out over the plate. Chu was coming in on it and decided, I got to stay back. I'm not going to catch that ball. And that hit is going to take Vinny Pistano out of the ball game. Manny Acta going to get the left-hander Chris Perez.
Rafael Perez will be coming into the ball game when we come back. 3-2 Toronto in the 9th. Blue Jays. Left-handed hitting Eric Thames due up, but we're going to get a pinch hitter for him as lefty Rafael Perez comes in for the Tribe. It'll be Rajai Davis pinch hitting for Thames. Blue Jays at the corners with 2 down. They lead 3-2. Perez delivers, and Davis takes a strike. Both Kochman and Hanahan even with the bags at the corners.
Well, just trying to get out of here with a 1-run deficit. Give the Indians a chance. It's a big insurance run at third base.
Swung on and missed. It's 0-2. The left-hander's 2-strike pitch. Runner at first breaks, and it's fouled on the left field line. And Rafael Perez now with the 0-2 offering again. Hit to left. Duncan a long run. He makes the catch. Hangs on for the final out. The homer by Kelly Johnson has Toronto on top 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Sergio Santos, the Blue Jays closer, now into the ball game. Rajai Davis, who came on for Thames, stays in the game and left. Michael Brantley is Drupal Cabrera, Shin-Soo Choo coming to the plate for the Indians. Combined 0 for 8 today. They combined for 3 hits in the opener.
Well, the Indians just 1 hit on the afternoon. That coming back in the 5th inning. 2 outs. The Kipnis home run. Other than that, that has been it. They had 2 other base runners. There was a walk in the 2nd from Duncan. And in the 1st, Cabrera. And then Santana in the 7th. Other than that, they have not had base runners.
Santos with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball for strike 1 to Brantley. That'll even the count 1-1. Santos saved 30 games for the White Sox last year. And a little tapper back to the mound. 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth. Sergio Santos established a major league record with 25 consecutive scoreless appearances on the road to begin a season. And that broke Mariano Rivera's record that was set back in 2005. He did that last year with the White Sox and now closing for Toronto. And as Drupal Cabrera takes ball 1. As Drupal 0 for 2 with a walk today. Call to strike. Evens the count. Santos with a 1-1. Cabrera with a high fly ball, deep right field. Batista back looking up. It's gone to Souvenir City as Drupal Cabrera ties it in the bottom of the ninth. His first home run of the year comes in dramatic fashion as Sergio Santos blows the save for Toronto.
All right, the table is now turned. A big base hit here by Cabrera. He got on a high fastball at 95. And boy, he got a good swing on that ball, able to get on top of it. Some strange reason, and that ball had some nice spin, nice carry. And we have a new ball game. Only the second hit for the Tribe, but it's good enough to tie the game up.
Now Shin-Soo Choo steps in and lifts a high pop. Shallow right. Davis a long run now into foul ground. Reaches back and makes the catch. 2 down. So as Dribble Cabrera gets his second hit of the year, his first home run to tie the game in the bottom of the ninth. And now Carlos Santana 0 for 2. 0 for 6 on the year with 4 walks. Up high, ball 1. Quite a few Blue Jay fans made their way here to Cleveland for this opening weekend series, and they were making a lot of noise, but they've all suddenly gone very quiet now that we're back to even. Santana's 1-0. Taken for a strike to even the count. Carlos certainly had his share of dramatic moments last year for the Indians as John Farrell looks on the 1-1. Couldn't hold on. Couldn't hold up, I should say. And it's 1-2. Now the 1-2. Outside. So, Rick, you now have Jose Valverde, Mariano Rivera, Chris Perez, and Sergio Santos. I don't know if there are any others.
I was going to say, are you sure that's
but
it?
At least that many guys have already blown saves, and we're at game 2.
That happens. You know what? They're going to blow saves throughout the course of the year. It doesn't matter whether it's the first, the second. That certainly is going to happen. Not the way you draw it up, not the way you want to see it.
For the second time in as many games, we've got extra innings. We go to the 10th, tied at 3. So 2 games, 2 extra inning affairs. It's the first time since 2004 when the Indians opened the season with back-to-back extra inning games.
Trying to give the fans a bang for their dollar, man. Let's go. 16 innings on Thursday.
Who knows today? We're all about customer service.
Yes, we are. You know what? This time they have to make it end a little differently than they did on Thursday. Big base hit by Cabrera to tie it up. 1 out in the 9th.
Rafael Perez got the last out in the 9th. Stays on to pitch the 10th. Facing J.P. Arancibia. And Arancibia takes ball 1. He's 0 for 3 today with a couple of strikeouts. Line foul. A little bit low. High pop. Drifting foul toward the seats and out of play. All kind of action in the Blue Jay bullpen. Francisco Cordero, Casey Janssen. And Rafael Perez now with the 2-2. Up high at a full count. Colby Rasmus waiting on deck. High pop. Center fielder Michael Brantley says, "I'll take it." And he does. One away. Got to bring up Rasmus. 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He has also walked today. Toronto Blue Jays, after we wrap up the series tomorrow, will head home.
They got, what, about a 9-game homestand, don't they?
They do.
Once they get home.
They'll take on the Boston Red Sox, then the Orioles, and Tampa. A called strike to Rasmus. The Indians, after tomorrow, welcome in the Chicago White Sox on Monday. Monday and Tuesday night games here at Progressive Field. And then Wednesday a 12:05 start to wrap up the first homestand of the year. The 0-1. Hit to right. Chu makes the grab. 2 down. Top of the order, Yunel Escobar. Escobar 0 for 4 today. 2 for 12 in the series. And Rafael Perez goes right at him with a first pitch strike. Rafi has come out of the bullpen firing. He has thrown 13 pitches and 10 have been strikes. Chopper to third. Hanahan guns it over. Low throw. Kochman digs it out again. 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays. We go to the bottom of the 10th. Knotted up at 3. Casey Janssen will be the 4th Blue Jays pitcher to work in today's ball game. And he'll face Travis Hafner, Shelley Duncan, and Casey Kochman. He worked an inning Thursday. Janssen, a 30-year-old right-hander, went to UCLA. Was a 4th-round pick of the Blue Jays back in 2004. Made his major league debut in 2006.
I thought the turning point last time Travis Hafner was up in this ball game, back in the 7th inning. The ball that was called foul looked like it went right over the bag. Fair. I mean, it ended up they ended up going 1, 2, 3 because he struck out and they got the double play, but it would have been at least second and third, nobody out.
At the very least. Hafner taking a strike. It's 1-1. Travis now 1 for 7 to start the year. And now Hafner down in the count, 1-2. Jansen deals. Hafner bloops it toward left, but Davis is there, and that's out number 1. Shelley Duncan 0 for 2 with a walk. Down low for ball 1. That'll leave in the count. I think the catcher might have got crossed up there.
You think so? He's going to run out and have a talk. He barely got leather on it. So there's no question what he put down. He thought he was getting a breaking ball. He got a fastball. It just went by. And I'll tell you what, the umpire's lucky his head wasn't there, because look at that. The catcher gets crossed up. He's looking for that breaking ball. He put his head down and he lost it. That's a good thing nobody got hit or hurt.
Now a 2-1 count for Shelley Duncan. Ripped to third, but foul. That was a screamer.
Well, Duncan, he wears that left field side out. He gets the bat head out so quickly. I don't care how hard you throw. He's going to swing it hard, and he's going to pull it. And believe me, where Laurie's playing over at third base, if he can't catch it, it's foul.
And the 2-2. Low and away, full count. Yeah, Laurie is almost on the line, a couple of strides away. Now Casey Jansen ready with the payoff pitch with 1 down here in the 10th. And he strikes him out, 2 down. The Indians offense today has managed just 2 hits, but both of those hits left the yard.
It's funny how he wanted that ball down and away. Aaron Sebia, he leaves it upstairs, and he still gets away with it. Duncan swings through it.
Casey Kochman 0 for 3. He reached on an error back in the 5th inning, and that led to a run because the next man up, Jason Kipnis, hit a 2-run homer. One ball, 1 strike for Kochman. Bouncing ball foul. Casey down on the count, 1-2 to Casey Jansen. Up high to even it up. That'll end the inning. We'll go to the 11th, tied at 3.
Three second consecutive game that these two teams are into extra innings. Manny Acta again going to his bullpen. It'll be the other Perez coming out. It's now Chris Perez who took the L in game number 1. Well, no, he didn't really take the L, but he gave it up. Let's put it that way. In the 9th, 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 3 runs. He will be facing Johnson, Batista, and Lynn.
He got the BS.
Yeah. That's true, the blown save.
Kelly Johnson, the leadoff for Toronto. He homered in the 9th. Now he lines one to Kipnis, who grabs it for out number 1.
Now he hits this ball right on the nose. A fastball from Perez, a little sinking liner to Jason Kipnis. Tucks it away for out number 1.
Jose Batista 0 for 3 was hit by a pitch in the 9th by Vinny Pastano. That was power versus power right there. Just rearing back, you can hear him in front when he lets him fly.
No, nothing to it, man. He's going after him. He's challenging him. Pretty good numbers for Batista against Perez. Did you see where that swing was just shortened up a little bit compared to the first 2 swings? He was trying to give the Jays a lead with the first 2. Now watch how he changes his approach to try and get on base now.
Lays off 1-2. Not many power hitters do that.
No, most of them do not. They go ahead and they continue that same swing. Look at that. I mean, he shortened it up to put it in play.
2 down.
That's how you become a 300 hitter.
Adam Lynn will be the batter now as we take a look.
It's a slider away. Now, if he goes ahead and puts that big swing on him, he's going to swing and miss at that ball. But trying to get out, knowing the team needs a base runner, he just tried to put it in play. And fortunately for his sake, it went to the second baseman.
Back out of play. Now, to his credit, Chris Perez was available after the game on Thursday, stood in front of the media and answered questions from wave after wave of reporters. I think that really goes along with being a closer, is being accountable. You can't run and hide when things don't go your way, and he does not. But at the end of the day, a closer is a bottom line business.
Yeah, you're only as good as your last save.
Got him looking. Chris Perez works a 1-2-3 11th. Bottom of the 11th inning, that man Jason Kipnis will lead it off. Back in the 5th inning, Kipnis launched a 2-out, 2-run homer.
Yeah, you talk about quick hands through the hitting area right there. Picked down a fastball from Morrow and gave it a ride.
And a breaking ball outside for ball 1. Casey Jansen worked a 1-2-3-10, couple of strikeouts. Kipnis a good cut, but right back. High and wide, 2-1. Chop foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jason Kipnis has worked it to a full count. Jansen's payoff pitch. Lazy fly to left. Davis has the, well, number 1. That'll bring up Jack Hanahan 0 for 3. Jack Hanahan 0 for 3 today, 2 for 9 to start the year. Back out of play. Eight homers, 40 runs batted in last year for Hanahan. A ball and 2 strikes. 3 of his 8 home runs came over his last 25 games. When he hit .368. Jansen with a 1-2. Missed inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Michael Brantley waiting on deck. The 2-2 to Jack. To left, Davis again is there. 2 down. And that'll bring up Brantley, who is 0 for 4 today, 1 for 10 to start the year. And back in 2004, when the Indians had the back-to-back extra inning games to start the year, they went 11 and 15 innings. And a strike called to even the count. 3 runs on 3 hits for Toronto, 3 runs on 2 hits for Cleveland. One and 2 the count. A little bit low. 2 down here in the 11th. Base is empty and a 2-2 count for Michael Brantley. Jansen has made 30 pitches already, though he's only faced 5 hitters. This is his 6th. The 2-2. Broke his bat. And a weak ground out to end the inning. We'll go to the 12th. Still tied at 3. Fans here at Progressive Field. Taking in this opening weekend series, and now Tony Sipp comes on for Cleveland to face Edwin Encarnacion, Brett Lawrie, and Rajai Davis.
You know, how lucky are both teams that yesterday was an off day, the way the opening day turned out because of extra innings and how the bullpens really had to work. But they're coming right back again today, and it seems like everybody's going to be used out of both bullpens, and they'll have a 1 o'clock game to close out this series tomorrow. So you're saying, come on, starters. Well, the starters have been great as well.
Yeah.
It's just that the teams can't score.
Neither offense has been much to get excited about.
It has not. And, I mean, they've been playing some long ball games going into the 12th inning now.
Encarnacion is 0 for 4 today, 2 for 11 in the series.
Tommy tells me that on Thursday, between both bullpens, they combined to throw 345 pitches between them.
And a strike call. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work. And, you know, who knows now? We're only in the 12th.
Only. Compared to Thursday, yeah, it is. Well, it's only in the 12th
only
inning.
12th.
Now the 0-1.
2-for-1 weekends.
It's a new promotion we're working on here in Cleveland. Buy 1 ticket, get
2 games.
Couple of games, game and a half. 1-1. Rip foul. Now Sipp with the 1-2 to Encarnacion. Yanked deep to left. That's a fair ball, and it is right in the middle of the Cleveland Clinic sign.
You know, it's too bad that thing didn't kick off. It looked like it hit a seam, and it sort of deadened that ball down because Duncan would have had a pretty good chance if it hit a hard pad and came back to him, where he might have been able to hold him to a single. But watch where it hits in one of the seams of those pads, and it drops straight down, and it never kicks off to him. He puts a good swing on it, juices it down the line. Now watch, Shelley's waiting for it to come off, and then it just hit right above the Cleveland Clinic sign, and it just came straight down. That's unfortunate. But it'll go as a double for Encarnacion.
Yeah, now we'll see what John Farrell does here with Brett Lawrie at the plate. Lawrie has singled in each of his last 2 plate appearances with a couple of ribbies.
Well, he didn't bunt him the other day in a situation. He let him swing, and then he bunted him one time. I was there in Sebia, wasn't it?
Lawrie did not shorten the bunt there. He didn't tip his hand if he is.
Well, there's no given bunt sign. When you get into this situation, if you're a major league hitter, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to take him to the right side. You know, and if you feel as a hitter that you can't do that to the certain pitcher that's on the mound, then you go ahead and you do it on your own. But, you know, your manager is just going to give you the opportunity. Do your job, pal. Get a good swing. Get him over. Look for it. I mean, go through the right thought process of what your job is and go ahead and do it. I mean, over the course of the long haul, you're not going to do it every time, but more times than not, you should be able to get your job done. Sometimes when you do a good job, you can get the bonus of going that way and getting the base hit.
Laurie takes a strike. Nobody out. And Encarnacion being bird dogged by Cabrera, the shortstop, right behind him.
Look at that.
A bloop to right.
There you go.
Dropping. It'll get him to third.
See that inside out approach. Good job by Laurie as far as getting that job done. Sip tried to stay inside with a fastball and force him to try and pull that ball, but he did. You watch how that bottom hand leads through the hitting area. You see that? That ball was an inside out swing. And a good job. He got the bonus. He got a base hit. Not only did he get him over, he got a base hit. So it's first and third in Toronto, on the verge of taking the lead again.
Indians will bring the infield in. Rajai Davis, 0 for 1, fly to deep left. His only time up. Good block by Santana.
Yes, it was.
Tony Sips in a jam here. Nobody out. And a strike is called to even the count. John Farrell's Blue Jays, just like in the opener, trailed this game. But they came back with a 2-spot in the 7th to tie it, took the lead in the 9th, only to have the Indians come back and tie it in the bottom of the 9th, now threatening here in the 12th. Swung on, foul tip, 1-2 the count.
See, here's another situation. If you are the hitter, you see that infield in, boy, your eyes should light up because you don't have to swing it hard. You just want to put the ball in play, keep a short swing. You can just hit a ground ball anywhere with the infield playing in.
And the 1-2 from Sip. Popped him up foul. That will get into the seats. And you don't see Davis take the short approach very often, though.
That's what I'm saying. But he's a guy that should, the way he can run. If you put the ball in play, put the ball on the ground, utilize your speed. But right now, they're not going to turn a double play with you hitting. Even though the go-ahead runs at third base, just try and hit a ball and just get it through the infield. I mean, he's helping the Indians out with the kind of swing he's putting on the ball now.
Now Tony comes set. And a line drive base hit. That's going to get home Encarnacion. Laurie's all the way to third. They're going to wave him home. Kipnis, his throw will not be made to the plate, and the Blue Jays pick up 2 in the 12th to take a 5-3 lead. Davis delivers with a 2-run double off Tony Sip. And Sip has not retired a batter.
He put a swing on this ball. And I mean, a line drive, right center field. Let's see if it's any different, Matt. You see how quick it was, those hands? He didn't really get long and loopy with it, and it's a line drive stroke. And Laurie hustling all the way from first base. Look at Brantley, didn't really get over there and get it in a hurry. And by the time that really comes in, he scores from first easily without even a throw. And I mean, it makes it a 5-3 ball game, but you got to anticipate that those guys are going to try and score them anytime the ball's hit to your right or left.
Three straight hits to open the inning for Toronto. After they had 3 hits in the first 9 innings combined. First 11 innings.
Yeah, right.
Dan Wheeler getting loose. Arancibia swinging a miss to 1-1 the count. He's 0 for 4 today, 1 for 11 in the series. Missed outside, 2-1 the count. That curveball misses badly, and it's 3-1. Colby Rasmus waiting for his turn. I don't wonder at this point what Manny Acta's thoughts are. This may be it for Tony Sipp right here. He doesn't get Arancibia. Fouled back, full count. With Davis at second base and nobody out, the payoff pitch is swung on and missed. Sipp comes back to strike him out. 1 away. And now Colby Rasmus. Encarnacion doubled to left off the wall to start it. And then Brett Laurie just trying to move him along, single to right center. And then Davis with a 2-run double to right center. Rasmus looks at a breaking ball for a strike. 0 for 3 today, 0 for 10 in the series. Yanks it foul. You got to really go out and reach for that one. It's 0-2. Now Tony comes set, and the 0-2. Davis takes off for third. High and away is the pitch, and the throw not in time.
Well, much easier for Davis. I knew eventually he was going to pick on Tony Sipp because you have to pay attention to him to keep him close. And watch the jump he gets. You see, he was off and running, even though Cabrera was behind him. Not a whole lot of attention paid to him, and that's an extra run for him, so it forces the infield in.
And with the infield in and one out, a 1-2 to Rasmus is yanked foul. With a 2-run lead, Davis can be aggressive at third. He sees Rasmus really beat one into the ground to where he thinks he can get the jump.
With one out, you can go ahead and go on contact with his speed if you want. Although they have two in, well, you sit back and you don't have to.
Wow. Almost got Torey Lovello at first. That's the old heat-seeking missile. It just kept bearing in on him.
Can't get out of the way. That's why everybody has to wear helmets. It's down there, but on the field. Because the balls hit that hard when you're down in the way.
Again, the 1-2. Up and away. A bluff move towards third by Santana had Davis scampering back to the bag. Rasmus with a line drive, base hit to right field. That'll score Davis. And it's a 3-run 12th for Toronto as Tony Sipp can't get it done today. Manny Acta's going to make a move. The first three all reached against Tony Sipp. They've all three come home to score. And with only one out in the inning, Manny Acta's going to go to Dan Wheeler, with the Tribe now trailing it 6-3. They've got a runner at first with one out. The seventh man to pitch in this game for the Indians is Dan Wheeler.
Well, his first time this year, although I'm sure he was up a time or two on Thursday. Last year with Boston, 47 ball games, 2-2 record, 4.38 ERA. He walked 8 out of his 49 in the third inning. He was injured through the month of September, and when Boston went through their collapse, they didn't have him out of the bullpen to help him out. But the veteran has been around, spent time with Tampa Bay, the Houston Astros, and won one of the extra bullpen spots coming out of spring training. Someone's sharing a jacket. It's starting to get a little cooler here. They're in the shade. They're not still in the sun. You got to be out in the right field bleachers to enjoy the warmth. Or out in the left field bleachers, for that matter.
Yunel Escobar, 0 for 5 is the hitter. Rasmus at first, held there by Kochman. And Dan Wheeler gets a swing and a miss. Wheeler with the 0-1. And that's too low. Snap throw to first. And the tag applied, but safe, says first base umpire Mike Everett. There is Francisco Cordero. Now he's loosening up to come on and try to save this one for Toronto. Runner goes, and it's fouled away.
Well, you can see John Farrell, even with a 3-run lead, it was a 2-1 count. Even though an out, he starts as runner. Still trying to add on if possible.
A little bit outside, and the count goes full 3-2. Runner goes, 3-2. Hit in the air, slicing foul, and out of play. Toronto has done most of their damage in the extra innings portions of these first two games offensively. 12 of their 13 runs scored have come after the sixth inning. In fact, with their performance on Thursday, thanks to the 16 innings, they brought a streak of 8 straight games against the Indians in which they collected 10 or more hits.
Yeah, they're not there yet.
No. Runner goes. One hopper to Kipnis. Bobbled it. He'll go to first for the sure out there. 2 down. Rasmus to score to second base. Their longest streak with at least 10 hits against the team is 9. So they're one shy of that. They've done that twice. Once was against the Indians back in '93. And they also did it against the White Sox in the late 80s. You think about it, that's hard to do, to get 10 or more hits against the same team 9 times. And they've done it now 8 straight against the Indians. Kelly Johnson with a one-hop smash. It gets by Kipnis. That'll get another run home. And it's 7-3 Toronto. Johnson with his second hit of the game. And the second RBI.
Ball hit right on the nose. Fastball out over the plate. This ball really eats up Kipnis over on the backhanded side. He was lucky to get leather on it. And deflects off his glove into right center field. They put another one on the board. It's a 4-run 12th. It's a 7-3 Jays lead.
8th man to bat in the inning is Jose Bautista. 0 for 4 today, hit by a pitch in the 9th. One ball, one strike. Wheeler ready, the 2-1. 3 balls and a strike. And he walked him. Keeps the inning alive, and the Blue Jays have batted around in the 12th. Ninth man to hit is Adam Lynn. And Lynn is 0 for 4 today. .105 game tomorrow here at Progressive Field. We'll have it for you on Channel 3 as Derek Lowe makes his Indians debut. Joel Carino going for Toronto. Wheeler with the 0-1, and that's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Detroit out to a 2-0 lead over Boston. They're in the 2nd inning at Comerica Park. Kansas City leads the Angels 2-0. They're in the 2nd in Anaheim. Miguel Cabrera hit a 2-run homer in that game for Detroit to give them the lead over Boston. Fouled back. And a ball and 2 strikes on Adam Lynn. The Indians won't see the Tigers until late in the month of May. One-two pitch. Evens the count. Tribe's first head-to-head with the Tigers comes here in Cleveland. 3-game series May 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Two on, 2 out, 2-2 pitch. Center field, Michael Brantley makes the catch. Last chance for the Indians. They're down 4. 7-3 in the bottom of the 12th. Toronto. Bottom of the 12th will feature Asdrubal Cabrera, Shin-Soo Choo, and Carlos Santana for the Indians. On for the Blue Jays is Francisco Cordero. No longer a save situation. But nonetheless, Cordero, a formidable foe.
Yeah, I don't think they mind. The bigger inning you have, the better off you are, and it's tough to come back from a 4-run 12th inning.
Well, Rick, the way these first 2 games have unfolded, the Indians, you just take any sign of offense you can find.
Well, they're going into the first 11 innings, 2 hits, and both of them home runs for the Tribe. When you look at their offense, Hanahan had the 3-run homer in game 1 with 1 swing of the bat. They scored all 3 runs with the 2 hits today on home run ball. They have not been able to put anything whatsoever together.
Mentioned in the opener, the Indians had the most wins in the American League in their last at bat a year ago. Toronto was 2nd. And the Blue Jays are closing in on their 2nd last at bat win in as many games to start this year. Line drive base hit up the middle, and Asdrubal Cabrera starts the 12th with a base hit for the Indians. And Asdrubal literally just taking it right back up the middle, almost took Cordero with it. And so he's aboard with Shin-Soo Choo coming to the plate.
Exactly what you need. You need base runners. Go ahead in there and good at bat by Cabrera.
The 1-0. Man, that's way up high, and Aaron Sebia is going to go out and talk to Cordero. Farrell was talking with his first baseman, Adam Lynn, about Cabrera at first base. He basically wants him to try to cut down the hole, not worry too much about Cabrera. The idea here, if you're Toronto, you're guarding against the big inning.
Sure, you've got a 4-run lead. Just get an out.
2-2 for Choo. Carlos Santana on deck. And a sky-high pop. Brett Laurie, the third baseman, under it. He'll grab it. One away. Now to bring up Carlos Santana. Choo, a rough day. He goes 0 for 5. And just 1 for 9 now to start the season. Santana still looking for his first hit of the year. One ball, one strike. One. In the dirt. Aaron Sebia keeps it close. And it's a 2-ball, 1-strike count for Carlos Santana with Travis Hafner on deck. Washington Nationals beat the Cubs today 7-4. Mets toppled the Braves 4-2. Kansas City now leading the Angels 3-0. Tigers still lead the Red Sox 2-0. Hit off the end of the bat, stays foul. Milwaukee on top of St. Louis 1-0. They're in the third at Miller Park. Cabrera takes off. Santana yanks it, a base hit, right field. Asdrubal on his way to third. And the Indians have him at the corners with one out now in the bottom half of the 12th. They need one more base runner to bring the tying run to the plate now.
Yeah, got a ball inside and muscles it out of there. Looked like a breaking ball, but hits it out into right field. Cabrera was off and running. He was just going to stay out of the double play. So they have runners at the corners now with one out. Need one more base runner to get that tying run to the plate.
Ball 1 to Hafner, who's 0 for 4 on the day. Travis twice has flied to left. He has grounded out and struck out. The pitch. Hafner went to the front of the box, shortening up the bunt. I'm sure that was just all for show. There's no way in the world he was ever going to attempt a bunt, but it's just, I don't think I've ever seen him even do that before.
Well, just taking it, making him get in the strike zone. Well, they're giving him anything they want on that side of the field.
Taken again, it's a called strike. Again, that was a key moment in this game back in the 7th inning when Hafner appeared to hit one over the bag at third and looked like it might have caught some chalk. This one is a line drive base hit to left field. Scoring is Cabrera. Stopping at second is Santana. And it's now a 7-4 ball game. And the tying run will come to the plate.
There you go. That's all you can do. You get up there and Hafner, what's wrong with that? Anytime you see that, why not go that approach, especially when you need base runners? Look at him. He just stays up. That ball was elevated, made it much easier for him to go that way. He does. They have runners at first and second, and they also have the tying run coming to the dish.
And that will be in the form of Shelley Duncan. Duncan 0 for 3 today with a walk. So 2 on, 1 out, Shelley Duncan. With Casey Kochman on deck. Even though they've already used their closer, Santos, so it would appear that it's Cordero or bust now for Toronto. And he misses low for ball 1. He's thrown 22 pitches, 11 balls, 11 strikes, so he's not sharp. The Indians still have a long way to go, but he's opened the door for them here in the bottom of the 12th. Duncan takes borderline. It's a called strike. He doesn't think so. Hafner at first, Santana at second. Almost hit him on the back leg with that pitch, and it's 2-1. The 2-1. Almost went. They appeal. He didn't go. Mike Everett says no, sir. 3-1 the count.
There you get a side view of it, and he was able to hold up. He did not go.
No.
So now you make sure he gets in the strike zone. One swing, though, he's looking for a pitch middle in. He can turn on and tie the game up.
Took
Helped
something
him out.
off.
Yes, he did. That's
a full count.
He wasn't going to give him a fastball middle in to turn on. He knows that. Duncan, a dead red hitter. See what happens? Slider away. Go ahead and try and pull it. He's looking for the ground ball double play.
Payoff pitch. Ground ball to third. Laurie with a great diving stop gets one at second, and that's out number 2. Oh boy, what a play by Laurie to really save Cordero and the Jays from
Boy, he sure did. That was a
further
terrific
consternation.
Play.
Wow.
That was a very good play because, boy, that just keeps the inning going. He's able to get one. That's all they're going to try for. You don't try and turn it. Johnson at second just takes it. That's a good play. Duncan had the slider again away. He puts it in play. But a good play by Laurie there to just save it and get an out. They still have the tying run to the plate, but they're 1 out away from winning this ball game.
And Casey Kochman takes a strike. Lays off. It's in the dirt. 1-1. Cordero, the 1-1 pitch. And now Casey Kochman down to his last strike. If Kochman keeps the game alive, Jason Kipnis would be next. And a bouncing ball to second. That'll end the game. Indians get a run on 3 hits. They leave a couple. And the Blue Jays win again. Final score today, 7-4. So Toronto has taken the first 2. They'll go for a sweep tomorrow afternoon in the series finale. Time now for our key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank, home of relationship rewards. Earn reward points and redeem for gifts.
Well, you come back into the 12th inning. It's Rajai Davis getting the big base hit when they had the infield in, trying to cut it off Tony Sipp. That plates the first 2 Jays. They go ahead and take the lead. He scored from first base. No problem whatsoever. That's going to be your KeyBank key play of the game.